Hey everyone, before we start today's crashing, we just want to thank Danny, Simon Silence, Matt Starond, Mark Wells, Jonathan Booker, Now Focus, and The Worst Gamer NA for becoming our new patrons. Also, thank you to Joel and Kreisstoff, I believe, for their PayPal donations on top of that. Our decision to sink some odd 400 hours into making a highly produced series for a relatively obscure game is nerve-wracking, to say the least, so we very much appreciate the support. Anywho's, as for today's goals, we're still looking for the Wild Men, the Hedge Knight, and also heavy armor for the lot of them. But for now, brigands. Some marksmen, some raiders. Boy, that's not going to be an easy fight. Let's try to chase these guys out of the forest. Some marksman is still less than R6. So they will likely... Yeah, it's definitely less than R6. So they're going to have to charge us. Perfect. They're out, and they're dead. So they get some marksmen, and it looks like they also get the hill advantage. Okay, looking at their some marksmen, they only have 4, so they're definitely going to charge us. They do, however, have 3 crossbows. That could be very dangerous. Looks like they have some javelineers, because they're holding the back line here. Alright, so what we're going to do is inch up on them, and then we'll just hail on them with what few javelins we have remaining. There we go. Oh yeah, they're getting a gresh. That's what I want to see. Let's rotate and just have a bit of a giggle. Giggle! To make a pro move here to save Ben. We've missed a good like 10 50 to 60s on this guy and his friend here, and they've hit most of theirs on Ben, so that's all right though. We're making up for it here. Wow. They're just hitting Mr. Honk. Mr. Honk was doing okay, but now, not so much. Leaving Share My Cow here to protect Mr. Honk from getting triple sniped again. We just can't hit these guys. I've missed 3 80s in a row on this marksman with 0 health. He may actually bleed to death. I've taken so long to kill him from the Gray's neck. This one we've also missed a couple of 80s. Someday we'll get around to killing him. There we go. Share My Cow did his good job. Hope we don't get double. Oh, we're good. We're fine. Everything's fine. Yes, and he did finally bleed to death. Finally. We hit some 80s. Whew. I don't even want to deal with these two. Their gear is just not relevant to me, and they're going to run away. So I'm just going to let them. I don't want to run up and get instantly one-shot. Just let them go. One of the things about Zero Deaths is knowing when to let the enemies run away. This was a good case of a battle where horrific RNG just made it far more bloody than it ever needed to be. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 characters who would have been within 2 shots of death if the 2 shots had hit in the right place. And they had 3 shots per turn, so good. We're gonna need to heal up for a long time after that. And we got some loot, but not too much. That was a brutal, brutal, brutal couple of battles. But 5,000 gold, extra inventory space, ambitions fulfilled. Finally got rid of all that nonsense arrows and whatnot. Let's give the leather scale armor to someone in the front line. Probably one of the tanks. Looks like Clay. So we've got 28 inventory slots. I'm saving these axes for a very specific use against strats later. The knives we don't super need. We're going to buy relatively soon hopefully a hedge knight who can utilize that greatsword. We'll give it to him when that time comes. And we probably don't need 6 extra shields. Realistically, 2 is probably a fine number, unless we're fighting barbarians, but we probably won't be fighting barbarians for a little bit. So let's just clean up a little tiny bit more inventory space. Also, this helmet's 140 and it looks cooler than the other one, and it's 1 less fatigue, so we should give it to someone. The padded kettle hat. So frontline, I suppose. Let's give it to, you know what, since Clay's looking good here, let's give it to him. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to take this noble quest to go to all 3 locations where we can restock our tools, restock our ammo, and then come back here. We do want to kill 30 guys around, but to the north is almost always a huge amount of brigands, so we can just farm some of them. And for now, we can just go straight in. Camp-a-bug, it's been a while. You guys think maybe you're going to have some nice mans for us? Nope. They do, however, have tools, and we're going through quite a bit. We can only afford to buy, or we can only hold 5 right now. We're just going to buy all the ammo. I'm going to buy the bandage as well. I'm going to give the second bandage to someone else, because oftentimes whenever I do need a bandage, the person who needs it is just busy. Let's give it to Clay. So we have 1 bandage on each side, and you can only use those when you're not in combat and the person you're using it on is not in combat. So they're really ridiculously difficult to utilize. However, since I'm going for 0 deaths, let's have at least 2, which is more than I've ever had in any campaign ever. Alright, and let's move on. This time you need to keep an eye out for things we can kill for those 30 quest heads. I suppose for the new ambition, a respectable company is recognized by their equipment. We should head out and claim either a famed weapon, shield, armor, or helmet. Just any one of them. We should be coming up to the point where it may be possible to find a famed item relatively cheap, especially javelins or throwing axes. There we go. Now the heads that we can collect, it can be anything. They can be beasts, they can be brigands. Oh, speaking of brigands, a few marksmen, many raiders. Let's just take a look at our wounds. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. We still haven't completely recovered from before. Let's camp out here while we can. See what these brigands get them. Whoa, they're on a warpath, huh? They're coming right in. I guess they sense the blood. Well, we do have gear for a reason. Even at 56, this is still the strongest thing we have. Looking around at everyone else, we have 99 here on the armor values. Everything's strong enough. And our hit points are high enough that it doesn't matter too much. All right, we can handle these clowns. Ba-doom! And their 3 ranged characters have tier 1 bow, crossbow, crossbow. There we go. They made the mistake, boys. Ooh. Boy, that crossbow, Mr. Honk, just getting pierced left and right. Jeez, they are not messing around on Mr. Honk. Absolutely insane. We need to make sure Mr. Honk's not going to get killed by this brigand raider, so someone's got to charge down there. It's either going to be me, like a maniac, Cinnamon, who goes next. That's a crazy place to be. It's going to have to be Cinnamon, I think, because I've got these beautiful 72s right here. 1, 2, 3 tiles away. It's the same thing over there. Yep, that'll keep Mr. Honk protected against this brigand. But for now, 72, 72. Or we could try to finish him with Cinnamon, and I could run down like a maniac. Nah, I want to get the pike out of here, really. So we can throw 1 javelin. There it is. I don't technically need to move with Cinnamon because everyone's turn has already gone and Mr. Honk can run away. So let's just throw another javelin then. 76 miss, huh? Rather than even try to take this guy down, let's grab the whip and go for a disarm over there. It's only a 56, but that's a scary weapon if ever there was one. He's got a grazed neck, and wouldn't you know, we've got throwing axes with executioner. Mr. Honk's out of here. He is out, boys. Goose is also not doing too hot. Let's Toodle Goose. This one down here had the giant mace, so let's focus on him. Well, we know he's going to pull it out and charge, so we'll just have a shield wall. Ooh, all right. Well, even these tier 1 bows. Pierce, pierce, pierce. So the wounds that were occurring, pierce side, pierce leg muscles, injured shoulder, we just have so many wounds. Boom! Headshot! Oh, that was a one shot in the face. Amazing. Well, that's 10. Cinnamon and Monk got promotions. We got some good... Ooh, more throwing axes. Full stack of food. A little bit of doodads. A couple of nice things here and there. More lamellar. Actually, really good amount of loot. We can sell that for probably a couple thousand. Let's run in the south. I'm going to repair everything now so we can sell it. And replenish our tools before we leave. Let's give Cinnamon her level up now. 71 aim. But basically, at this point, it's nothing but hit points. And you know what? One more max roll initiative. 137. Beautiful. Rather than 2 fatigue. And at long last, we've unlocked the strongest perk in the game. Nimble. It reduces the damage you take by 60% if you have exactly 15 or under fatigued armor. So we have 10 from the lamellar and 5 from the nasal helm, giving us exactly 60% damage reduction. With 81 hit points. That is absurdly strong. Absolutely strong. Monk, at the exact same time, also picks up Nimble. Also absurdly strong. He finally gets a max roll on Resolve. We've been waiting for that for a long time. His hit points are less relevant at 88, so we'll start going a little bit higher up here. And Monk is an axe thrower, so he doesn't really need more initiative. Fantastic. How long till I get it? 1 or 2 more battles. And then how long is Shader My Cow? He's way behind. Well, that's a forgo those beasts because we are just in a super hurting way right now. Let's go to Unholds and replenish our arrow supply. 20 brigands! You gotta be kidding me. I've never seen that. Technically, we let one guy run away, so we only got 10 kills. A plethora of thugs, a few poachers, and a few marksmen. That is the most fun we'd ever have in our lives. The problem is, our hit points... You know what? Actually, other than Mr. Honk can probably just sit out this battle. Holy wounds, Mr. Honk. Yeah, I think we can still do this, actually. Let's have Goose swap to another suit of armor. And everyone else is looking fine. Yeah, let's definitely do this. 20 kills is too much. It's too much to ignore. Yeah, they're coming right for us. We'll go ahead a little bit. There we go. They are going to have the ranged advantage, but we will chew through them so fast. We'll break their lines so fast, they'll have no idea. We're going to wait for all of them to take their long-range shots, then we'll move up. One thing I could do to bait them is actually have Eric come over here on the high ground. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ranged characters. Him being on the high ground, they might be inclined to charge. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Double 40s right out of the gate. Beautiful. Now, all we need to do to get them to engage us, well, we have basically no ammunition whatsoever. All we need to do is get one character in melee range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. That'll do it. And they'll all charge in. So we'll have Ben do exactly that. Okay. There we go. Now they're coming out. I'm going to move everyone down and away and let all of these guys just do nothing and move closer while we engage the smaller force in this direction. Now that we're touching them, they're going to want to charge us. Good job, guys. Shoot your own guy in the back. That was insane. Cinnamon just one-shot that clown. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, you kill a few of them, and then they all break because they have very low morale. There we go. Everyone is breaking. Now, there's still a danger here. The danger is we get overconfident, leave someone alone, like Charlie here, who gets sniped, and then he dies. So right now he can only be sniped twice from this direction, but that's enough to kill him. So I actually feel like I can't move with Ben. The thing is, this one guy here is retreating, so I can move up, stab once, and move back to make sure someone like Charlie doesn't die. I thought he was going to go for that Pierce. 18%, and he got it, too. That 18% Pierce went through a third of Clay's hit points. Crazy. There we go. All the archers are running. Yep, there's the one archer is still like, I'm going to get Goose no matter what. Give Goose some cover. I want the extra kills because of the mission. Emerald, get him! Okay, nice! Double hit on the move. Oh! He hit Emerald with that crossbow. Holy freaking buttons. Get off that. He's just going to have the ability to attack next turn, so there we go. Thank the... Wow! That's why you never chase him down. Yes! Emerald's revenge! Alright, we picked up quite a bit of kills there. Decent amount of experience, too, for an easier battle. Nothing worth mentioning loot-wise, really. Now, how many kills are we up to? 23. So we only got 14 there out of the 20. I think it's because they killed some of their own guys, and bleed-outs also don't count. However, we can come back here and hit up this Hermit's Cottage if we really need to on the way back. So to Nordholz we go. But at this point, the entire band is unbelievably wounded, exhausted, broken. Just everything is not good. So we're going to be very careful as we move up here and avoid forests at nighttime again. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like this right here. That's a great thing to kill normally, but right now that'll wreck us. All right, at long last, we have arrived at Nordholz. Ooh, unfortunately, they have disappearing villagers and abducted children. Abducted children is a quest I don't much fancy, but this means we're going to have extremely expensive arrows. However, the arrows are so cheap here to begin with, extremely expensive, quote-unquote, means 156 and 125 instead of like 75 and 100. Regardless, we're going to buy literally all 6 of them. There were no mans there to speak of, so now we go back to camp stat. Along the way, we just need to kill 7 things, and we'll have a full turn-in for maximum reputation, as well as 1,800 more gold. So I'm going to take a jaunt over here and see what's in this cabin. I remember it being very easy, just a bunch of... Whoa! 12 brigands are fighting 14 undead. Well, that's a sight you don't see every day. And over here, a Wiedergänger. A, as in single. As well as many armored ones, but a fallen hero. That would be a great farming opportunity. However, can we really farm in our current situation? I think the answer is, now that we have new ammunition, most likely, yes. Even at 43 hit points, that's fine. 57, and we need to camp for a little bit. Let's camp over here and just see what's going on. Looks like the brigands are actually wrecking them. A few marksmen. Many raiders. They just lost a whole bunch on the Wiedergänger. Let's camp for a bit, see. Oh yeah, brigands absolutely evaporated. Few marksmen wouldn't be too bad, but I'm not too keen on many raiders. So what I'm going to do is give these guys the loop, and we'll go back and... Or, maybe I'll just sit on the road and get some easy 7 kills with a trade caravan someplace. And we'll come back and farm that fallen hero in a minute. There we go. There's Campberg Company's coming out, and there's our 7 kills. If we can get the kill shots. 7. That's exactly what I needed, and we got it. Also, promotion, promotion, promotion. And another kite shield. Beautiful. All kinds of good loot. Pike, flail, food. 4 promotions. Somehow, Chris has managed to make it all the way up here with 74 with absolutely no range skill, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. At this point, I suppose we'll just pretend he's an archer, I guess. Like, why not, right? And let's give him ye old Colossus so he doesn't die. I have now hit the ranks of nimble, which is incredible. I think another helping of initiative is very good. 81 hit points, awesome. And lastly, we have Charlie, who is yet another mysterious fellow. Let's give him also the Colossus, I suppose. And we'll give him... Ah, finally, he stopped getting the range skill. Amazingly. Okay. Good, good, good. Charlie and Chris really were only supposed to be here for a little while, and somehow they're still here. Let's equip the arming, or the kite shield, rather, on, say, I suppose, Chris. Looks like it's fancy right next to mine. In the back line, do we really need anyone else? Do we have nimble on anyone else here to make sure everyone who does have nimble... Ah, here, Monk actually has nimble, but has a more heavy helmet, so let's swap him out so he gets the full effect of nimble. Otherwise, the entire back row has all lamellar as of now, which is fantastic. In we go. 1830 crowns. They are very pleased. Not pleased enough to get some more mans of import, but pleased nonetheless. Meaning we can restock our meds back up to full, 233. Arrows are kind of expensive here, but we're going through them so fast, I'm not sure I really have any choice but to buy literally every arrow everywhere I see an arrow anywhere in the entire game. And let's just clean out masses of inventory space. Rather than spend the time to repair, we literally just sold pretty much every single thing. A couple of backup items. But now we can go on a grand old adventure all the way across the universe. We are ready to go, 100% decked out. Let's see what this quest is here. Deliver something super, super, super far away in Yederburg. We're not going there, but we're going in the general direction. Our tools are down to 76, so one more stop off in Campburg, and then off to the north. And their tools were apparently sacked, so they don't have too much. All right, we'll buy what they do have for whatever price they're willing to sell it for then. Let's see what this 1-star request is. Greenskins. So the greenskins for 840 are over here in Onbach. But then we'd have to go back and return the quest, which is kind of out of the way. I'm not too concerned with farming up our reputation with House Summerwine at the moment, even though it does seem like they're the most likely candidate for the house I'm going to align myself with, since they're centrally located in the middle, and also we have the highest rep with them. For now, I really want to go to the northern lands and see if we can't farm some better throwing axes, javelins, and possibly a couple of camps along the way. And while we're up there, more importantly, find some wild men at long last. Well, it does make sense to do this fallen hero along the way. It's going to be some decent gear from when we do find the wild men, so that's next. Only 9. Wow. So the strategy for this is let them come up, surround the fallen hero, taunt, tank him for a while, and stab his gear off. Pretty simple. Ooh, okay. He's got a winged mace, which is a tier 3 mace. That's worth a pretty penny. He's got the chain, and then he's got the flat top chain helmet, which is all pretty decent. Well then, Yosuke got a level, which is nice. And we did not get the helmet. We did, however, get the winged mace, which is worth quite a bit when repaired and sold. And also a signet. Worn kite shields, they're actually not too bad, but they're not as good as the regular kite shields. They have less durability and less range defense. However, the decayed coat of plates, 260 defense for 42. That is super awesome. Too bad we don't have wild men who can use them, but we're going to go get some right now. So for now, who can actually wear this nonsense? Ooh, Kiyosuke can now get Battle Forged. So what this does is reduces the damage taken by armor equal to 5% of the total current body armor. So we add up 190 plus 215, giving us like 405. 5% of that is just about 20. So all damage we take to armor is reduced by 20%, meaning our armor lasts much longer. And the heavier it is, or heavier the armor is, the far more it does. Let's give Kiyosuke at long last that max roll resolve, more melee defense, and probably fatigue at this point. So he could use the coat of plates, but he's already down to 49. Who actually has the most fatigue as a tank? 57, 70. This isn't even really a tank with Eric. I mean, I could give it to him, but I kind of want him to have... He does have iron lungs, though, so... He went from 70 to 40 fatigue. That's just unworkable. We really do need some higher rank iron wildmen. Higher rank wildmen will make this viable. But for now, I don't even see anyone who can realistically use it without just going completely broke. Also, Share My Cow's going to end up using throwing axes, so let's give him those now. And off we go to Nordholz for more arrows on our way to the north. Well, as usual, Nordholz does not have a lot going on for it. Really don't want to clear the abducted children nor the disappearing villagers. He wants us to kill Shrats for 800. Yeah, I just don't see the value in it because they can be pretty crazy without some very good, strong tanks. And also, this 800, I wouldn't be surprised to see 3 Shrats, and that would be far too difficult for us right now. The only thing I care about here is getting the wood anyway, and you know what? Off to the north. Forget about the wood. Disappearing villages, ambush trade routes. No men. Hunt down what terrorizes Kockendorf for 800. I'm actually going to say yes. I'm curious to see what it is. Worst case, I abandon it. Oh, Mr. Honk, the sergeant, comes to you with a paper in hand. He slams it on your table and says he wishes to enter. You pick up the scroll, unfurling it to show that a local town is hosting a jousting tournament. The man crosses his arms, awaiting your response. All right, Mr. Honk, off to the tournament with you. Stab him, stab him. A little bit of gamesmanship never hurt, no? How does 500 crowns? Winner take all. All right, Mr. Honk, we're putting our money on you. Boom! Mr. Honk, the sergeant, is up next. Sir Theodoric rides onto the field, his horse black, his armor a vibrant purple with gold trimmings and tassels here and there. Both he and Mr. Honk, the sergeant, take up their lances and slap down the faceplates of their helmets. All that said, the two jousters lower their lances and charge. Having never been to such an event, you can't help but hold your breath as the two riders battle down the lanes toward each other. Sir Theodoric struggles to keep his aim steady, his lance bobbing up and down, and the point of it wobbling in search of a true target. He doesn't find it. Ooh! Mr. Honk, the sergeant's lance shatters his opponent's chest. A proverbial explosion of sawdust and splinters, through which rides a horse with no rider. Mr. Honk is euphoric, and we gain 500 crowns. Huzzah! That's the sort of reading we... Oh, 18 Noxeteras, huh? That's the sort of reading I think we really... I don't want these things to actually attack... Oh, God, they attacked me in the forest. I didn't think they would, but they did. Okay, we'll take them out. This is just going to be more frustrating than a normal one is all. Well, Ben got a promotion, and we got at least enough for 2 more trophies, which is none too bad. Back to Kockendorf we go. Well, they no longer have disappearing villagers, but they do have ambush trade routes. Monsters in the hinterlands. Hunt down the lindworms. Now, this is... Generally, it's going to be like 3 of them. We have almost no ability whatsoever to deal with them. unless we pull them into a company and super cheese it. It's a lot of money. We need to look around to see if there is a company to pull them into first. But the reason to do it would be to yoink the kill shots, to get their fancy hides and bones and armors and such, to make some lindworm cloaks. They want to pay us 3,000 to take out a barbarian king. That is so far outside of the realm of what we're ready to do, it's ridiculous. In any event, let's keep moving to the north and see if we can find a company or anything nearby we can pull those lindworms into. Well, there's a supply caravan, but that's not going to help. Poor Friedwald has been attacked by Unholds and marauding greenskins. Another 760 gold for a quick beast extermination? Alright, sure. Let's see what they have. The caravan's not nearly enough. Ooh, 2 caravans might have been sort of useful. 3 Unholds is what they want me to fight here. I did not expect that. I expected a bunch of spiders or dire wolves or other some such things. 3 Unholds is... Well, with our gear, actually, it wouldn't necessarily be all that bad, to be honest. I think it's time we unleash the power of our squad on our enemies. Crush the Unholds. And there's a trading company. That makes things much easier. And we're in the plains, thank God. I thought we might hit the forest there, but very good. Perfect time to send out a trading caravan. So the strategy here is wait for them to come forward while tank taunt, or sorry, shield wall taunt the off-side ones, and then focus fire one of them down to avoid their regeneration. We have 4 tanks, so we should be able to survive a number of turns taunting, even with our not-so-great armor. But it's going to be kind of highly RNG dependent. If they hit a bunch of easy or a bunch of low chance shots early on, it's going to actually be somewhat difficult. There's no sense in even attacking right now. Yeah, they're going to come right up here, and then Goose is going to be in the thick of things, okay? Get all the tanks close together so we can rotate around as necessary. I'm also, since we didn't have enough ammo, I'm checking on my archer's ammo to make sure we have as much as we possibly can have. Yeah, Charlie's the only one super low. Oh, Shermike was low as well. Well, now's the time to engage. Why don't we pick this one, since everyone except Chris can hit it, and Chris can move here and still hit it from range. I'm curious what they're going to do about the spear wall. I just want to see. I've never actually tried to engage them with the spear wall like this before. I wonder if they'll go around and go after the peasants, if they'll split up, if they'll just charge right in because they don't care. I don't know. Alright, we couldn't get any wounds. So throwing axes aren't going to do as much as I would have liked, but alas, there they are. Alright, here we go. This one's coming in first. Coming in hot, as they say. Oh yeah. Charge right in. They didn't care at all. I was hoping the spear wall would make them go like around and some of the peasants would take care of it, but that's fine. Kind of want to rotate down and decapitate in a second. Whoopsie daisy, didn't mean to do that. This one's still going to go in 11 turns. The peasants aren't even going to come help us. They don't care none. So let's stab once here. Make sure... Actually, if we do that, we cannot rotate, unfortunately. And that's less than ideal. So let's rotate down. Here comes Eric. Decapitate works maximum damage when they're at 50%. So this is going to be a ginormous amount of damage. Okay, if we hit, of course. Kiyosuke's a little too low to go charging into 2 of them, although they're so low health, we may actually be able to go before them significantly. Nah, I should just wait. Not worth the stab. Oh, now they're engaging. Good job, boss. Thanks for the assistance. See if we can't take that one down. Never mind. So this one up here is going to take a big swing. That's okay. Too bad we couldn't kill his friend. He might have been wavering. Oh, he didn't take a big swing. He charged in and did an AoE. That's fine also. There's one. Everyone's confident. And how long? 3 turns? I kind of like the idea of running up here and shield walling. He'll probably just toss us, but that's actually also fine as well. Yeah. Oh, wow. That one really wants to go places, huh? Which is actually great, because he moved right into Chris. Thanks for moving, buddy. So Indomitable works wonders on holding these guys still. At this point, I'm just going to completely surround them and crash them. Now he's breaking. Beautiful. Yeah, this is the benefit of... See, I would be scared of doing this if I didn't have Colossus, 9 lives, and 90 hit points on everyone with half the team with Nimble. But being right in the front of all this, not even a big deal. I gotta make sure these peasants don't steal the kill. That's the only objective right now. Easily peasily. So little experience, but that was enough for Ben. And we got a heart. That's worth a pretty penny. Actually, all those things are probably about 200 apiece in a good town. Maybe 250. The wilds are dark and full of terrors. Well, that was quick and good amount of money really quick. So we'll grab the ammo, grab the food, because we've got none of any of these things. Oh, look at that, boys. Our first wild men in the forest. Good not. Good deal, too. 650 for a level 2 wild man. Hell yes, good not. Let's see what you're all about, shall we? Oh, my God. Okay, so... Wow. He got Iron Lungs with a base fatigue of 122. He has -4 melee defense, but 68 hit points. One of the two things I really care about are hit points and fatigue. And Iron Lungs tanks are super strong. Unfortunately, all of his skills are in the wrong thing. And his melee defense, it's actually not too bad for a Wildman. I think he's going to be a pretty good character. By the end, we'll have 152 fatigue with Iron Lungs, and that's really strong. His hit points should be somewhere around 100, and his melee defense will be around 15. Now, 15's not good for a tank, but it's sufficient. Let's give Gernot all of the best things that we can find. Also, let's give Mr. Honk a level now. I mistakenly had the game paused. Damn it. So I gave Mr. Honk Fortified Mind, increasing his resolve to 100, and then I gave him a little bit more resolve skill. Additionally, I promoted Ben to melee defense, fatigue, hit points. Lastly, we renamed Island Stone down here. We gave him 9 lives, we gave him all the decked out gear, and I'm not sure if I had talked about this before I paused or after it. I was mentioning he's going to have like 155 base fatigue with Iron Lungs. I'm going to go melee defense, hit points, and fatigue every single level up, all 10 levels. He's one of our final characters who will be in the roster forever. But until we can get Steel Brow, we're going to only bring him into easier fights and sit him out for the harder ones. And now we're moving on to Dunkenthal, because I can't find any place to easily deal with the Lindworms via kite. Oh, beast hunters abound. That's a good sign. Brigands for 700 gold. Okay. That's a good way to level up stone. Ooh, additionally, we got some relatively cheap wood. We could buy that later and it'd be even cheaper, but you know what? I'll buy it now. We can't buy the meds we would go over. Well, we could, but it'd be a waste. And food. Looks like we could buy this as well. Awesome. Sure, let's go do their brigand quest. More money, the better. 8 thieves, a few marksmen, and some raiders. I don't mind fighting them at night because their marksmen will have a huge penalty to hit from super range, whereas my javelineers won't actually be that bad. They'll be like 50-50. Oh. That is indeed a necromancer at night in the forest, but we'll deal with that in the next episode. In this one, we finally found one of the first 4 Wildmen tanks that we want to replace our prior farmer tanks, and we even picked up some heavy armor for said Wildmen tank. Overall, we picked up 7,000 crowns, bringing our series total to 50,000. Additionally, we picked up 11 new levels, getting really close to Nimble or Battle Forged on most characters now. And we even picked up one more final recruit out of about, I think, half a dozen that I want to pick up. And, of course, 0 deaths. And one last thing, if you guys are watching this as the video goes live on Sunday, Brabblewolf is currently streaming Battle Brothers on twitch.tv/Brabblewolf_TW, trying to take down the Black Monolith for the first time. In any event, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. There we go. Oh yeah, they're getting aggression. That's what I want to see. Let's rotate and just have a bit of a giggle. Giggle!